Right friends, welcome back to news of the day and look at the important news item. Ties severely damaged, says China, and in Times of India, Beijing summons envoy to protest Dalai Lama's Tawang visit, and we discussed several times. 2-3 things I would like to reiterate. China does not recognize the McMahon line, this 1914 Shimla Convention. Basically, Shimla Convention of 1914 was between British India and Tibet. The present boundary is as per McMahon, that is known as 1914 Shimla Convention, and the Shimla Convention delineates the boundary between the then Tibet, now Tibet is part of China, the then Tibet and British India. This boundary was devised, and China does not recognize the sanctity of McMahon line, and it considers part of south of McMahon line as part of their territory. So, the crux of the problem is that, so this is the sovereign boundary of India and China does not recognize this, and it claims around 60,000 square kilometers region of Arunachal Pradesh as their, and without giving any sanctity to the McMahon line. So, they are not recognizing Arunachal Pradesh as sovereign territory of India. This is one aspect. And second important aspect is India gave asylum in 1959 when Dalai Lama escaped from Tibet, and India gave asylum, and this is second reason for straining of relations. And when Dalai Lama, which the China feels separatist, is visiting Tawang, remember there are two issues here. One issue is Dalai Lama is itself controversial figure in China, and at the same time the region Tawang is again controversial in the eyes of China. So, because of these two reasons, China is totally annoyed and it called the envoy, and India said we have every right in our sovereign country. So, this is the present day status with regard to the visit of Dalai Lama. So, China strongly objected to the visit of Dalai Lama, right. The second issue is rail regulator gets green light. What is this? Rail regulator means we have several regulators. Please look into this slide. Telecom Regulatory Authority of India is a telecom regulator which regulates telecom activities in our country. Then insurance sector regulator is IRDAI. Then Reserve Bank of India is the regulator for banking system. SEBI is the regulator for capital markets, and SEBI regulates several other things. So, like this, to regulate various activities, various regulators are there, and remember these three: IRDAI, SEBI, RBI, along with the Pension Fund Regulatory Development Authority, which regulates pensions. These four are known as financial sector regulators, and there are several regulators. Food regulator is there, FSSAI, that is food regulator. Then this TROI is a telecom regulator. Similarly, civil aviation sector has got one regulator. So, like that there are several regulators are there, but unfortunately till date there is no regulatory authority in railways. The problem with railways is most of the times the fares are decided, especially passenger fares are decided based on the social considerations. So, here in, suppose let us take for example in Chennai suburban trains, or as a matter of fact in any other city in the suburban trains, for 19 kilometers distance the fare is just 5 rupees. So, in future once this rail regulator comes into existence, then what happens? Then they will recommend fares to the government. What should be the fare for passenger as well as freight? So, this is all about rail regulatory authority. In future it is going to come up and government has given green signal for this. So, in future the fares and other associated activities of railways will be recommended by the authority to the government, right. So, this is all about rail regulatory authority. Then Taj Mahal changing color mud therapy is being used. Taj Mahal, the mud therapy which is Multani Mitti, this is used in fact for the human facial activities also. This mitti is used, and now Taj Mahal is with several strains, lot of black and yellow strains are there on Taj Mahal, and to remove those strains now almost 2 mm thick mud paste is being pasted. So, this Multani mitti, this is being pasted on the Taj Mahal, and once it dry up it will automatically come out, and with that it will take away the stains, black stains, yellow stains, they will be taken up, they will be taken out. So, here this mud therapy is being used by the government to remove the mud stains, to remove the stains on Taj Mahal. So, that is the news item. WhatsApp case for Constitution Bench. Here this WhatsApp in fact gave or shared the information and personal details of crores of, or you can say millions of users, and there is a question, what about right to privacy? So, here I would like to tell you, in previous 2 occasions the court, once 8 judge bench, once 6 judge bench, they categorically stated that they rejected in fact privacy as a guaranteed right under Article 21 of the Constitution. So, now this will go on, and Supreme Court is going to hear this on April 18. So, on April 19th we will discuss more about this, and fundamental debate is going on in our country whether right to privacy must be made a fundamental right or not, and courts categorically stated right to privacy is not a part of Article 21, which is guaranteed as fundamental right. Then the next one is BC Commission to get constitutional status. Here Union government introduces a bill in the Lok Sabha, and National Commission for Scheduled Castes, National Commission for Scheduled Tribes, please understand carefully, National Commission for Scheduled Castes, National Commission for Scheduled Tribes, these are incorporated in the Constitution. So, they are constitutional bodies, National Commission for Scheduled Castes, National Commission for Scheduled Tribes, these 2 are constitutional bodies, and at present National Commission for BCs, backward classes, as well as National Commission for Women, these are statutory bodies, they were created as an act of parliament, through an act of parliament. Now, this BC Commission is going to get constitutional status, right, just like National Commission for Scheduled Castes, National Commission for Scheduled Tribes, National Commission for Backward Classes will also have constitutional status shortly. And once the bill is passed, we will discuss what is the difference between constitutional body, at the same time statutory body, these aspects we will discuss. So, please understand, at present National Commission for Scheduled Castes, National Commission for Scheduled Tribes, these 2 are constitutional bodies. National Commission for Backward Classes at present is a statutory body, and it is going to become, or you can say it is also going to get the constitutional status just like the bodies for SCs and STs. Look into the next news item. India asserts sovereignty over Gilgit-Baltistan. What is this news item? Here, please look into this. This part is Gilgit-Baltistan and this part is Pakistan occupied Kashmir, and loosely people call this entire region as Pakistan occupied Kashmir. In fact, both the regions were occupied by Pakistan, but one has got a specific name, that is Gilgit-Baltistan, and now Pakistan is going to make this Gilgit-Baltistan into the 5th province. Pakistan has got 4 provinces, just like our 29 states. Pakistan has got 4 provinces, or you can say 4 states, and Gilgit-Baltistan, they are going to make it as the 5th state in Pakistan or 5th province in Pakistan. But the point here is India is strongly objecting to it because of the reason it is a sovereign part of India, because J and K, because it was part of J and K. So, J and K was acceded to India by Maharaja. So, because of this reason India is strongly objecting. You may have a doubt why Pakistan waited for so many years, almost 70 years to make it a province. Why Pakistan is making it a province at this juncture? Because of China's pressure. China is pressurizing for making it a province, because of the reason this China-Pakistan economic corridor is passing through Gilgit-Baltistan region, right. So, India is strongly objecting for Pakistan of making Gilgit-Baltistan a separate province. Look at the next one, Mamata Banerjee to meet Hasina in Delhi. So, here the issue is Teesta river waters. Initially around 30 years ago or so, some sharing formula was devised and subsequently it was revised, and now Bangladesh strongly want this Teesta river water deal, and West Bengal is primarily objecting to the Teesta deal, because West Bengal feels that the areas at present irrigated in West Bengal, they will be affected, and Teesta river became bone of contention between India and Bangladesh. And Teesta river originates in Sikkim, please understand. The lake is Cholamu Lake. If I correctly recollect, the name of the lake is Cholamu Lake, and that is the lake which is situated at the highest elevation in our country, and this river, Teesta river, which is the bone of contention between India and Bangladesh, originates from that lake in Sikkim, please understand. And right, so this is about northeastern part of the country. Look at the next one, China's Sri Lanka foray Oris Tharur. Here I told you some time ago, Hambantota port in fact is being built. First phase was built by China in Sri Lanka, and further deals are going to happen between Sri Lanka and China. But the biggest worry for India is there is every possibility that China may establish naval base adjacent to Sri Lanka in our backyard. So, that is the biggest worry for our country. So, Hambantota port, this is in Sri Lanka, and there is a very possibility that a naval base may be established by China, because for Hambantota port there are news reports that the loan, or you can say debt, is converted into equity recently. So, China has got ownership of this Hambantota port. Initially it gave loan, and Sri Lanka is facing difficulty in servicing the loan or paying back the installments. So, under these circumstances, part of this loan is converted into ownership by China. So, there is a fair possibility that a naval base may be established. Then North Korea tops agenda as Trump set to meet Xi. So, this week Xi Jinping and Donald Trump meeting is expected. And what are the points of difference between China and America? China and America, if you look at the points of difference, first and the foremost is China's one China policy is there. One China policy is China does not recognize the sovereignty of Taiwan. That is the one China policy. Donald Trump said that he does not recognize this one China policy. Subsequently, some backtracking was there, that is different story. Then second point is China is aggressively building up bases in South China Sea, but USA want the sovereignty of waters. They are international waters in the words of America, but China says that is their waters because they want territorial sovereignty up to 9 dash line. So, this is second point. Third important point is there is a trade deficit of around $350 billion between China and America. Between China and America, there is a trade deficit. The trade deficit of America, or you can say trade surplus for China. So, please understand, I am repeating this sentence. Between China and USA, there is a trade deficit of $350 billion for USA. So, trade is in favor of China. So, USA strongly feels that their industry is affected because of too much exports from China to USA, right. So, this is another point of contention, and China is not happy with the USA's interference in South China Sea. So, these are the important aspects, and more than that, one most important aspect is the issue of North Korea. North Korea, no one is there to stop the aggressive attitude of North Korea. Only China can control North Korea, but China is not doing it deliberately because of their strategic reasons. And another point is China is not happy with the third missile system which is going to be established in South Korea by United States of America. So, several issues are there. So, let us just hope what will be the outcome after the meeting. Steps on liquidity will be in focus. You see, after demonetization, banks' deposits increased at the rate of almost 13 to 14%, but the credit offtake is not there. Credit offtake, that is the demand for credit is around 4 to 5%. Credit demand is 4 to 5%. Then the deposits, the banks are flushed with the deposits. So, excess cash is there with banks, that is known as excess liquidity. Excess cash is there with the banks, there is no demand for credit, people are not coming to borrow from banks, the growth is not satisfactory, or you can say it is tepid, right. And as deposits are increasing, demand for loans are reducing, banks are into peculiar situation now, they are flooded with the liquidity of cash, or you can say cash. So, the bank's liquidity crossed around rupees 4 lakh crores, and now how to absorb that liquidity? That is the fundamental point, how to absorb that liquidity, and Reserve Bank of India have got several options. If the cash reserve ratio is raised, that liquidity can be absorbed by Reserve Bank of India, that is one option. And Reserve Bank of India is looking at the second option also. This is a standing deposit facility to in fact take care of this excess liquidity that is still in the fundamental stage, it is not in the drawing board, or you can say this is standing deposit facility, that is the mechanism to drain surplus cash with the banking system. So, Reserve Bank of India is thinking about this tool also. Center allows duty free import of sugar. As far as sugar is concerned, 2-3 things I would like to tell you. This year the sugar production reduced drastically. In fact, this year the production is expected to be around 20 million tons. And another important aspect I would like to tell you, This year, Uttar Pradesh became the #1 state in producing sugar. Previously, that position was held by Maharashtra. Now, Maharashtra's production almost reduced to 50%. So, from examination perspective, please do not forget, Uttar Pradesh became #1 in sugar production, bypassing Maharashtra. Then another point is our production is 20 million tons this year, reduced drastically, and our requirement is 24 million tons. But we are sufficient because of inventory. Around 7 to 8 million tons is available with inventory before the beginning of this year as inventory. So, because of stock available initially, that is known as inventory, we are safe. But to ensure orderly flow of sugar across the country, now the government also allowed duty free import of sugar. So, sugar will be imported, there will not be any duty, because availability of sugar in the market is the responsibility of the government. So, government takes the measures like imposing import duty, reducing import duty, all these things depending upon the requirements. Now, this duty free import of sugar is allowed because of the reason we require sugar, right. So, with this, let us conclude news of the day, and please do join for editorial discussion at 11:30 hours. Have a nice day. Thank you.